Hey guys, my name is Jordan. Uh, this is my channel where I love to talk about the Lord. I'm not sure what what to say now that I'm doing a face reveal, but I suppose I'll start with my testimony. I was raised in the church. And I've seen a whole lot of people who were hypocrites. I've seen people who were true to their beliefs. When I was young, I was an extremely angry child. I was grown up in a very broken family. One sibling of mine was extremely jealous of the musical talent I've had. The other sibling was resentful of the way I was mistreating him. But little did he know that I was influenced to mistreat people because of how I was being mistreated when I was young. My upbringing it truly could have been worse. I suppose I should be thankful for my upbringing, because had I not been through everything I've been through, I would not have the amount of wisdom I have today. Experience truly is the best teacher, but it's for the most stubborn, for those who refuse to learn the most. In my short 24 years of life that I've lived, I have come to realize that the old are at war with the young, and that the young are at war with the old. That men are at war with women, and women are at war with men. I've come to learn that parents are at war with children, and children are at war against their parents. I've come to learn that everyone, regardless of any race, background, or upbringing, has the capacity to exploit, to bring prejudice, and to cause contention and discord. Now, I'm no one special. I'm no exception. I'm human too. I've done my share of exploiting. I've done my share of contributing to the amount of evil and sin that is already in the world. And frankly, it's really done a number on some people. I've gotten angry, I've snapped, I've beguiled and have been beguiled. I've deceived. I've made a fool of people. So regardless of what I've been through, it doesn't excuse any of that. No, it's still sin, what I've done. It is still sin. It is still wrong, what I've done. Nothing in the past, my upbringing, in no way I've ever been treated by anyone does it justify what I've done to people back then. Needless to say, I was in need of help. I needed to be saved. I knew that people always looked to Jesus, and that there are several different religions out there. And I've noticed that all the other religions pointed to Christ and spoke of him as being a good teacher, or someone who was extremely wise. And although that most religions don't even put an emphasis on Jesus Christ, they still see him as a good teacher. But Jesus Christ himself says that he is God. and yet they still call him a good prophet. I found this kind of reasoning to be sound, and so that's what I went with. I began to try to follow Jesus. I began to try to keep his law, not knowing that the law was put there to show how much I need him. First, it began with me needing Jesus. And once I figured out that I do need Jesus, that wasn't enough. He wanted me to know just how much I needed him. How much I needed him. Not just the fact that I needed him, but how much I needed him. That was the emphasis. And so came the next phase in my life. I began to try to please God. But I found myself sorely lacking. It's true what it says in Galatians chapter 3, verses 10 through 13. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. For it is written, cursed is every one who continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. But that no man is justified by the works of the law, it is evident, for the just shall live by faith. Oh, but the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is every one who hangeth on a tree. That passage gave me a whole lot of relief. Because I already knew that I was incapable of keeping God's law and was fearing for my soul that I might be cast into hell. At any moment, God would have taken my life and it would have been right to cast me into hell because I was failing to keep his law and trusting in my own righteousness instead of his grace. Once I decided to completely yield my righteousness to God, once I admitted to the fact that I was incapable, once I, look, let me just go ahead and tell y'all what happened that night. I knelt down on my bed, exhausted, being spiritually accused by every side. I was being demonically attacked. I was being demonically harassed. Demons from every side were coming at my conscience, telling me, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Do you remember all of your sins? And you call yourself a Christian? Fool! They were right. At least that's what I thought. I hated myself. I despised myself. I hated how I was incapable of pleasing God, and it mourned me to my soul. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold the tears back. But whenever I completely yielded to the Lord, I knelt down to my bed, exhausted from the battle I was fighting, and losing, frankly. And I told God, I'm so tired. I'm tired. There's nothing I can do to enter your heavenly dwelling. I want to please you, Lord. I do. But there's nothing I can do to earn my salvation. I've already broken your law. I'm already worthy of death. No amount of penance, no amount of good works can ever justify the sins that I've committed. Just like my adversaries were saying. They were right, Lord. But they were using it as a way to try to get me to doubt that you're a good God. But I know that you're a good God. There's nothing I could ever possibly do to save myself, Lord. You're my only hope, so please I want to see you. I would be content for my life to be taken, even now, Lord, so I could see you. After I prayed that, Jesus arrived. I mean, I saw him face to face. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying to you, bro. I saw Jesus right there standing, staring at me with a smile, a very gentle smile on his face. So sort of like that. He was short. He looked Middle Eastern. He arrived in his earthly body instead of his glorified body, I think in his mercy, so that he wouldn't terrify me with his glorious presence. I think that's why he chose to arrive in his earthly body instead of his spiritual body, because his glorified body. Because if he did that, I would be shaken. I would be shaken to the core. I would be terrified. But in his mercy, he decided to show himself in a more gentle way, a sort of acknowledgement to the fact that he heard my prayer. I saw Jesus face to face. I'll never, ever forget that day. I'll never forget just how merciful God has been to me. He truly is amazing. That day, I was saved. And I hope you all enjoy my testimony, and I hope this helps some of you. I must go now. If you like my content, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you never miss a video. Goodbye for now.